Back to the channel. Panda here, and today I am going to bring you some more content for Disney's Sorcerer's Arena. Now, there's been a lot of changes that have been coming up with the announcement of update 13 and all of the new amazing changes that have been introduced. But one of the things that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about is actually the changes to Club Conquest. So there's a couple different changes. As you can see, we're actually in a Club Conquest now that I think are minor but nice. And there's a couple things that I think are going to change completely how we need to strategize both our defensive and our offensive portions of Club Conquest. So let's start with the easier thing, which is simply the reward structure. So as you can see now, there are power tiers. This is based on your total power over the entire club. So it varies from 0 to 50,000 all the way up to 1.5 million and above. As you can see, my club is currently in the third tier, which is the 700,000 to 1 million. We just barely pushed to 700,000. And I'm not actually quite sure if this actually varies based on if this decides your matchmaking or not. If it does decide your matchmaking, you may want to hold off 1 week if you're really close to pushing into a tier. However, the rewards I think are very, very good, and that's definitely a big positive. So I want to go ahead and look at just the tier that I'm in. We get a huge amount of club coins. We get ultimate chest tokens like normal. We're getting more gamma ability runes, more Davy Jones shards, but we're also getting gear chances, which this is, I think, is probably the most important thing, is you have a chance of getting really, really good gear, including the T7 essences and patterns to get that 7.5 gear. Now, of course, I don't know what the chance is of getting these, but there is a huge potential that Club Conquest is going to become a lot more competitive simply because of the chance of being able to get that T7 gear. But of course, we also have the T6 gear and the T5 gear still. So definitely a lot of great rewards here in this new structure. I think this is definitely something you should be paying attention to. So I think a lot of clubs are probably going to be trying to pick up some people with higher overall total power, just to try and push their way up these power tiers. That is, I think, one of the small things. One of the other things is that defenses are now saved. This is great. Unfortunately, I am not a leader, so I can't show you. Plus, of course, we're also in an attack phase, so I can't show you simply because of that. But now leaders aren't going to have to go in and individually assign every tower and remember, oh, did I put this defense here or that defense there? You'll have your rough structure, and you can make changes as necessary. So for example, if one of your players has a really, really strong kingdom team, you can keep it where it is. But if they also make their big hero 6 team and they get it stronger, you can go, oh, hey, they have a new defense team. Let's go ahead and swap out A team for B team, etc. On defense, but you only have to make those very small changes. So definitely a good plus there. One of the things I think is going to be the biggest change, though, is these new tower bonuses, and let me explain why. Guys, these tower bonuses are no joke. There's a couple different ones, and I'm going to talk about them individually and talk about what teams I think should be placed in those sections, what teams you will probably end up seeing in those sections. So let's go ahead and start off with the 2. So this is the same for everyone, B2, A2, and C2. They all have oceanic characters gain 20% bonus maximum health and begin battle with crit chance up for 2 turns. And I think this is pretty obvious. We're going to be seeing our Maui, Moana, Gantu, Cobra, and Stitch teams here. We also could even potentially see some of our lower tier teams, including things like Jack Sparrow, Hook, Ariel. As you can see here, my club is using pretty much full oceanic teams. And even these low tier oceanic teams, like this one right here, for example, is only 2,100 power, or this one is only 2,000 power. But that 20% bonus maximum health and beginning the battle with crit chance up is a huge power bonus for this team. Just having 20% bonus maximum health means that they're going to have 20% more health that the enemy teams have to burn through in order to get through this tower. So this is definitely a huge bonus there. I think it's pretty obvious. Like I said, we're going to be seeing Oceanic teams here. Obviously, there's no other reason to put anything else here. This team right here, as you can see by Asian Sensation here, is probably going to be your core team. But of course, you can also put in other members, like I said, like Jack Sparrow, Ariel, Captain Hook, etc. But that is definitely a huge power boost. I'm just imagining a 7-star Gear 6 Ariel with crit up, guaranteeing to crit, you know, with her purge ability, just doing massive damage. So definitely some really great bonuses there. Then we move on to the 6s, which is of course the same A, B, and C. We have defending onward characters gain 30% bonus maximum health, 20% offense, 1 bonus magic for all abilities on start of turn, and if defending team has an onward character, attackers begin battle inflicted with helpful immunity for 2 turns. So this is where we're going to see our beer bash teams. Personally, I mean, if you're running a team that doesn't have Ian, Barley, and Manticore, I don't know what you're doing with your life. As you can see here, we've got Ian here. We've got Ian and Barley, Manticore, Ian, Barley, Manticore, Manticore. So you're seeing a lot of teams that include Ian, Barley, Manticore. But personally, I really think this is going to be the place that you're going to place your beer bash team. So your Ian, Barley, Manticore, Judy Hops, and I'm not sure who that 5th member is off the top of my head, but that's where you're going to see this team. And this is ridiculous. Manticore got some pretty insane buffs. And I mean, this is going to be such a hard node to take out. I don't think this is going to actually affect Club Conquest too much. In my personal opinion, I don't see a lot of people actually pushing towards the 6s in the center. A lot of the times people end up doing the side pushes into the back to try and cut off all the resources, as you can see most of these teams are trying to do, including ourselves. So a lot of differences there. But, you know, in the event that you get to the point where you are pushing in here, these teams are going to be incredibly difficult to take on. 100% Ian, Barley, and Manticore should go in your teams that are in this section. It's just going to make your power so much stronger. So that is definitely what we're going to see there. Definitely Beer Bash, or at least that big onward trio. Then we go into the 5s, where we have defending princess characters gain 25% bonus maximum health, 20% offense, and begin battle with tactics for 2 turns. This is where I think we're going to see kingdoms. And the reason why I say kingdoms is because your standard kingdom team has at least 1 princess, being Jasmine here, which is a very strong princess when you build it with the kingdom team. But I also really do think that we're going to see some changes to that kingdom team, where we're going to be 100% including Mulan, and we're going to potentially also throw in Ariel. And the reason why is simply because princess characters gaining max health, offense, and beginning your battles with tactics is very powerful. So I'm thinking that we may see a sort of mix and match kingdom team here, where we're going to have, you know, Shan Yu for that leadership, or maybe even not Shan Yu. Maybe we have 2 separate kingdom teams where we're looking at something along the lines of like Ariel, Jasmine, Mulan, Aladdin, and Genie as a team here in this princess section. So you have 3 princesses gaining that 25% bonus max health, 20% offense, and starting with tactics. And then you have a separate kingdom team that has your Shan Yu, your Robin Hoods, you know, and the other various kingdom members that you can throw on that team. I definitely would not be surprised to see sort of an emergence of a kingdom princess team. I know when I first came to the game, princesses were actually very powerful together. I was running, you know, a team with 3 princesses on it, and they had a lot of bonuses together. They've since been changed, you know, various things, but we definitely were thinking that a princess team was going to be coming to the game, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is something that does come. It'd be insane to see like a legendary Snow White, you know, being the first princess or something along those lines, and just having a monstrous princess team in here with full princesses. But I think we're definitely going to see a sort of kingdom princess hybrid for this section, and I definitely am going to be giving that idea to my club to test that out, because I definitely think that using the fortifications to the most, you know, effective that they can is going to help us a lot in Club Conquest. But that moves us on to B8 over here. All of our 8s are going to get defending Toy Story characters, gain 30% bonus maximum health, 20% offense, and begin battle with haste for 1 turn and defense up for 2 turns. Defending Toy Story heroes begin battle with guaranteed crit. So here is where I think there's going to be 2 potential teams that we throw in here. Well, maybe even 3 potential teams that we throw in here. The first potential team is your downtown villains team, and this is mainly because you have a couple downtown villain Toy Story teams, or downtown villains that are Toy Story. For example, you have Chunk. I think there's one other one as well. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you definitely could have a potential downtown villains team in here. However, you're not going to gain that Toy Story Heroes buff, but I think that is very negligible in comparison to the rest of this 30% bonus maximum health, offense, haste, and defense up. I think one of the biggest teams I think we're going to see here is going to be that Fear villains team with Lotso, because it does have a couple different Toy Story characters, and when you get that 30% bonus maximum health, 20% offense, haste, and defense up, it's going to make that team already monstrous even bigger. I definitely think that that's where we're going to see these teams get thrown in, is going to be with that Lotso Toy Story villains team. But then of course, because this have the heroes bonus, I do also think we're going to see at least the combo of Buzz Lightyear, Woody, Bo Peep, and Jessie. For sure, definitely could see that team going in here, just because it's going to have, again, it's still going to get that bonus maximum health, offense, haste, and defense up, and it's also going to gain that guaranteed crit for that little bit of extra burst damage at the start of the fight. So 3 potential teams to throw into this section here, and then we move on to the last one, or sorry, we have 2 more actually. We move on to this team here, B10 here, not this team, my bad. B10 here, which is defending mythic characters, gain maximum health, and begin battle with offense up for 2 turns. Personally, this is going to be kind of like not a throwaway, but sort of like a put in whatever fits. But personally, I think one of the biggest teams we're going to see here is going to be that continuous damage team, because it does have Hades on it. It does have, I believe, Sally on it. I believe Sally is a mythical character as well. And it also has, I believe, Madam Mim, who's also a mythical character. So definitely some potential there to put them in here. We could also see, as you're seeing here, a Frozen team be put in here with that Olaf, actually. Because I think Olaf, with that bonus maximum health, is going to be able to get out a lot of extra charms and a lot of extra tactics, because he'll be able to survive for so much longer that he may actually prove to be quite useful if you're still in the beginning stages of the game, and you're not quite building up that Olaf, because he's of course not as useful in most sections of the game. But I definitely would not be surprised to see your continuous damage teams put into this section, simply because it has quite a few mythicals there. But otherwise, I think this team is going to be basically build up a team, put a mythical on there, like for example Hades, and just kind of let Hades go crazy, kind of like O'Daddy's team here. You can see he's got that Hades there, surrounded by quite a few big damage dealers, and he's just kind of gonna let them do their thing, and Hades is just going to be harder to kill and deal more damage. Then we move on to the final tower, which is B12, and this is the defending tech characters gain 25% bonus maximum health, 20% offense, and begin battle with 2 stacks of counterattack. 20% chance per defending tech character for each attacker to begin battle inflicted with vulnerable. So this right here is where we're going to see two teams. We're going to see that normal tech team that already kind of exists with Gizmo Duck, you know, and Scrooge McDuck and Darkwing Duck and Cora and all of those, that standard tech team that we already have in the game. But we're also going to see the potential emergence of the Big Hero 6 team. And I think this is monstrous. I'm going to have a video coming out soon in regards to what I think is probably one of the next best duos in the game, being Baymax and Hero, because Baymax and Hero, when paired together, are a huge survivability combo. But when you pair Baymax with any strong tank, for example, a Gizmo Duck and or a Kristoff, you're going to make that tank so much tankier. And you're going to have an extra taunt to take some damage off that tank so he survives for that much longer. And I definitely think that Baymax and Hero combined together are going to make a tremendous duo to kind of be paired with any other trio. For example, the Frozen trio. I think that would be a pretty insane team to have to go up against in regards of survivability for arena defenses and Club Conquest defenses. So I definitely think that this is going to be a huge spot to put those tech teams, as well as that Big Hero 6 team that has just been released. Now, what exactly does this mean for Club Conquest? It doesn't really mean a lot. It means it's going to be a little harder to take things out. Defenses are going to be a little more on the offensive and the defensive side in those certain towers. But it also means there's going to be a little more math that needs to be done, because you have teams like, for example, here, this team is an 1858 team, but it has Chunk, which is a decently strong tank that now has 30% bonus maximum health, haste, and defense up. That's really, really powerful. And I think it's going to take that power from 1858 to, you know, maybe 1958 or even 2000. But if you have a full squad, like, for example, if we come over here to B12 and you have a full squad of tech teams, which unfortunately we really don't, but if you have a full squad of tech here, that's a huge power spike. Imagine going up against a 2500 full tech team here that has all of these bonuses and is now going to actually have the power of a 3500 team. You're going to be able to waste people's huge Frozen teams just to get through this first tower. So I definitely think there is a lot of changes, a lot of potential here. If you have, of course, the highest teams. Of course, you know, my club is not quite at the highest end, but it's pretty high up there. And I think that there is a lot of potential for amazing defensive holds here with this tech team, as well as with the Lotso Toy Story team down here in the 8 section. But guys, that is it for me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video talking about sort of the new changes to Club Conquest and what I think it's going to cause going forward into the game. If you like this kind of content, please make sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button, as well as the bell notification icon, so you can be notified when all my content goes live. But like I said, guys, that is it for me today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.